Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post-show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? It's the moonwalking, trash talking princess of Staten Island. I want to remind you all that Mela is money, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hi, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke watching Going In the Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steven Larson, and available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notify bell right here on YouTube if that's where you're watching it, youtube.com/Steven Larson. We also are available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson. We have a variety of reward tiers there. If you really enjoy Going In Raw and want more but better, we have all sorts of things available. It's a great way to support Going In Raw. At the $1 mark, you even get a little bit of a shout out. So I'm going to do that now. We got some new patrons over the past 24 hours, about 3 of them. Devin L. Grant, Lucio, King of Los Rudos, and Dr. Rice.
Thank you, everybody.
We have a legit doctor.
Welcome, doctor.
Of Rice. Doctor.
Anyways,
thank you very much for the support. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah. We have a lot to talk about today. We've got 4 hours. What?
Maybe we should talk about that later. Never mind. Friendo Award stuff.
Oh.
Categories are all done. When are we going to put them up to a vote? We should do it soon.
Right after TLC, because I feel like I don't think there's going to be any. Well, hey, that Becky Charlotte Asuka match, that could be hot.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. That could land.
Oh, yes.
Something shocking could happen there. So I was figuring after TLC, we're going to put up. That's actually a good point. So if you hit subscribe and the notify bell and make sure you're notified for our community tab on YouTube, that's where we're going to be conducting the voting this year for the Friendo Awards.
Yes.
Right after TLC, we'll be putting up. We've already got categories nominees.
Yeah.
Those are ready to go. So voting will be open the day after TLC. That should be very exciting. Probably the day after, a day or two after TLC. Who knows? So that should be a lot of fun. We'll see who will win. Name a category, Larson.
Match of the year.
Oh, wow. Who's going to win Match of the Year this year?
Vote. Find out.
And then tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 Eastern, we've got Best of the Super Friendos 2. We're taking 16 prospective free agents for WCW and Fun Wrestling.
Yeah.
One side of the bracket, it's going to be a tournament, will be Fun Wrestling. The other side will be WCW. I chose 8. He chose 8. They'll be doing battle, and in the finals, they'll be fighting for a prize contract, or in the case of WCW, possibly a death warrant. They'll be fighting to make the cut tomorrow, 9 a.m., noon Eastern, as we head towards the new season of Fun Wrestling and WCW. Very exciting. We're going to be holding that at twitch.tv/Steven Larson.
Yes.
It's over on our Twitch channel. Make sure you go subscribe to that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, let's go ahead and do it. We have no super chats.
Nothing.
So that's good. We can get right into it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was a lot.
Perfect.
It was a lot. So yesterday, after we finished the morning show, I went and had lunch, and you stuck around and watched NXT UK, and I come in, and you're like, there's only one this week. And I say, awesome, because 4 hours of wrestling is a lot to watch.
Yeah, my bad.
And then
at the time, there was only one.
Yeah, I know. And then what about 8:30 last night?
Oh, man.
8 o'clock last
really
night.
Killed my night.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is when I started the first episode. I go to watch what I thought was the one episode of NXT UK, and I'm like, oh, there's 2.
No!
And I text to let you know.
And I was like, I thought I was good because I watched that UK here at the office. And then I was going to go home and just chill out over 2 hours. And then I had an extra hour of NXT UK this morning to get it. It's too much, man.
It's too much.
And here's the biggest problem. In 2 hours of NXT UK, no Zach Gibson. There was no Liverpool's number 1.
Basically, everybody else on the roster was
everybody else and some new names. Somebody named Candy Floss.
Oh, we've heard of Candy Floss before.
I had not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hadn't heard of her. I looked her up
okay.
and I was like, all right, cool. So she's pretty. She's on the European scene quite a bit.
Yeah.
She had a great look to her.
Yeah.
She looked like she could have been a creator wrestler for fun or WCW. She heads the WCW. Ooh, bad news.
No, she'd be a huge star in
Probably
fun
be killed.
wrestling.
Yeah. So yeah, they're talking here in the Discord, which you can get access to on the Patreon for $1. Big Money GM says, hop in the Friendo Talk channel. We set something up you guys might like. This is like some sort of audio talk channel. I don't know how you going. I don't know what you guys are talking about in there.
We definitely can't do it in the middle of a show.
Commiserating business.
Can't do that.
There's also there's also the WCW Fun News.
Oh, that's cool.
Where we're going to be giving our insiders some rumors, speculation. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's just hop right into this, man.
All right.
It's a lot to get through.
It is a lot, and it was one of those nights where none of the shows were bad. It just didn't feel like a whole lot happened. Like 205 Live was fine, but it didn't really progress anything major. And NXT was fine. Didn't really progress anything
Well, let me ask you something.
I mean, like the main event segment was fine. That progressed things a bit.
Yeah, that was good.
And then NXT UK.
We had a debut.
Yeah.
Are you surprised they had Punishment Martinez like straight up tap out in his debut?
Well, I mean, I was surprised by how short the match was.
Yeah, man, I'm tap out.
That doesn't surprise me.
Man, he comes in.
Matt Riddle is going to he's probably be the next champion.
It's sort of like,
or he's going to be the champion shortly. Sorry.
Yeah, he's going to be a big star.
Oh yeah,
he's great. Yeah, they just brought him in. He has a great name, so they can't change the name.
No, you get the picture with the game.
Yeah, he had that. What is his
role?
He
said Triple H said, I expect huge things from him in the future.
Is that just word? Is that just lip service?
I don't know.
I think it's lip service. I think this is what's going to happen. They signed so many guys. People have to lose matches, man.
Yeah, I know.
People have to lose matches.
I mean, Keith Lee lost to Lars Sullivan last week.
Yeah.
Keith Lee's incredible.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing over there. It's a mess.
They have too much talent. That's the problem.
Things are really weird right now in wrestling. Things are really weird, right?
They really are.
Like Meltzer had a decent write-up about like the first evidence about the UK scene dying, about how ICW has a show coming up, I think, this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And it's only sold like 2,000 tickets as opposed to like, I think 2 years ago, they were selling because British Strong Style was on the top of the card. They're bringing in guys like, I think, Kurt Angle and the Dudley Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And it had like 6,000 people in attendance.
Wow.
So it's a really weird time. Like all of a sudden, it's really
like,
weird.
in a certain sense, wrestling has never been more prevalent and arguably popular with wrestling fans.
Yeah.
But enthusiasm is down across the board.
Yeah. I had no idea even that ACH was going to the WWE.
Yeah,
I read the newsletter and he's coming to WWE. It's too much,
It's
man.
too many people going to WWE.
They just need to bring it down a notch. That's 3 notches would be good.
Well, who was it that was talking? Oh, Silas Young, of all people, was talking about getting an opportunity to sign with WWE, and he said, "There's only so many spots."
Yeah.
So why go to
None of them are for him, though.
Well, he said, why go to WWE when there's a limited number of top spots and so much competition for said spots? When I can stick with Ring of Honor, the known thing.
Yeah.
Like, why? Smart move on his part. Why go to WWE and get lost in the shuffle there, where I can stay in Ring of Honor? I have a spot. I know what to expect.
Hey, if you can get some of that,
as he said, they've been good to me, so I'm gonna be good to them.
If you can get some of that big Sinclair money, maintain some freedom, a good schedule,
Yeah.
and fight Pico when he comes in,
Mhm.
51-year-old PCO, good for him. Quebecer. Look at me, I'm 51.
I just
getting
wonder
great
if there's
money.
gonna be a tipping point where there's some hot indie talent or someone really popular in Ring of Honor, and WWE comes to him with his contract and says, "Here, come to NXT," and they look at the roster both on NXT and main. It's like, where do I fit in?
We're at that point.
If we're not, it's damn close.
We are at that point.
Where do I fit in? Like, do I want to be just another guy in NXT, or worse yet, a lower card guy in WWE? Sure, I'll be making probably more money.
Yeah.
Or do I really want to help Ring of Honor become something potentially major?
Who was that fella in the UK scene who posted that tweet and then everybody started coming down on him?
Oh, I saw
Jason
that.
Superman or something like that.
I didn't read it.
And then Trent Seven responded and said, "Hang your head in shame. Delete this tweet."
What did he say?
Oh, he was just sort of getting high and mighty, you know. Oh, WWE's coming in and decimating everything. But he did it it was like the tweet was a picture. It was like,
no, I saw that. Yeah, I just didn't read
with
the
like
tweet.
him on it.
Yeah,
people are blasting him for that. He was just talking crap about people like signing with WWE, and he was like, "Don't go to the." Or I don't think he said don't go to those shows, but he basically was, I don't know. I don't think he's that big of a star there.
Yeah,
and so people are sort of saying this is just an attention thing, you know, because it was like an essay that he wrote.
Yeah, well,
teach their own. I just like that Trent Seven said, "Hang your head in shame." Hang your head in shame. Anyways, let's dive into this.
All right.
Because it's a mess.
Yeah,
205 Live.
205 Live. Instantly somewhat disinterested in the show because it's just Drew Gulak, Jack Gallagher, Brian Kendrick, Akira Tozawa feud. I like pretty much all of these people, but this feud just does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Ever since they paired Jack Gallagher with Drew Gulak, I feel like all of Drew's momentum has just stopped.
It has. It has. It definitely has. Because that guy was hot for a spell. He was on the road to championship, and then Buddy Murphy comes along and kind of stole that momentum.
Yep.
I feel like Buddy Murphy needed a bit more time, sort of decimating the lower, like the mid card, before they launched him right up and gave him that title. Because here's the thing, what's going on next week? Next week on 205 Live, Tony Nese versus Cedric, right?
Yeah, Cedric's going to win that.
Cedric's going to win that, and then he's going to win the title right after that.
Yeah.
And then they're going to do Cedric versus
he's probably going to Cedric Mustafa at WrestleMania.
At Mania, yeah. That's what's going to happen. It's sort of obvious.
Yes, it's super obvious.
What I'm hoping will happen for Drew Gulak is this is just sort of biding the time until like post Mania, he'll get a shot at Cedric's title, like a real shot, and
Mustafa,
Mustafa, because he'll get the title. You're right.
He definitely should.
And I think that'll be a hot feud. But that's sort of probably on the horizon for Drew Gulak, unless they
just keep doing this thing with Brian Kendrick.
Apparently WWE is trying to get Kushida too, and apparently that might actually happen. Like that's a thing that might actually happen.
My goodness.
According to Meltzer, anyways. Who knows?
No, I heard that they were going after him and that they give 0 Fs about tampering charges.
Yeah, they said the only people they really care about is
Ring of Honor and MLW.
Yeah, because they have like money behind them.
Yep.
They can do something.
Yep.
But apparently they don't even care about Lucha Underground. Let's see here.
So anyways, it was Drew Gulak versus Brian Kendrick. This match was fine. It was actually, there was some good technical wrestling at points where there's this one spot where Drew had like Kendrick's leg pinned under him, Drew that is, and then grabbed his arm and twisted it all the way around. Kendrick had to get to the ropes. Tozawa was out there ringside, walked out with Kendrick. Gallagher, of course, out there with Gulak. Gallagher pushes Tozawa on the ring post at one point. Kendrick hits sliced bread number 2, goes for the pin. Gallagher breaks it up. Kendrick wins by DQ, and then Kendrick and Gulak just start beating the heck out of Gallagher and Gulak start beating the heck out of Kendrick. Gulak applies the Gulak. Tozawa comes in. He eats a headbutt from Gallagher. Segment ends. Heel standing tall.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's kind of hard to care about this, but at least people are doing stuff. After that, Drake Maverick had sort of a sit-down powwow with Buddy Murphy, had an interview with Buddy Murphy. Was this meant to be more of like a fly on the wall thing, or was Drake Maverick conducting an interview for the audience? Because he's the GM. Why isn't like Kayla doing this?
I felt like it was supposed to be a formal interview type deal.
Kathy Kelly was
maybe
doing
it was
this.
like his they were doing the workplace assessments for the end of the year.
That's what this more felt like. Yeah.
Performance.
Yeah.
Assessments for the end of the year.
So anyways, Buddy Murphy, I don't know. I do get the feeling kind of that they put that title on Buddy Murphy a bit too soon. Like he was super hot and everything, and he's a great wrestler, but like they haven't really done anything with him. you know?
As soon as he won the belt, Tony Nese was like the focus of their pairing.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Like, it's all been about Cedric. This has felt more just... Buddy Murphy shouldn't be the kind of guy who's facilitating another wrestler's story.
No, he should have a story of his own.
Yeah.
And those stories should interweave when they feud, but otherwise, yes.
Yeah.
But he needs a story. Other than just being Juggernaut.
So anyways, I kind of forget what happened in this interview. Buddy Murphy was just sort of contentious.
Yeah, he was talking trash about Cedric.
Yeah.
Because Drake said he's going to have a defense against Cedric at some point. They didn't announce when.
Yeah. And then, and Buddy was trying to play some, like, a bit of Mustafa Ali off of Cedric.
Oh, yeah. He said Mustafa's better than
Yeah,
Cedric.
that's right. After that, we had Arya Davari in his first...
Jacked.
Looked great. How do you like those glasses on him, man?
Those are good.
Those are great. He looks like a pawn shop guy, but like a one who will, hey, I've got some here that's worth like $200, and he gives you like $25 for it, and you feel great leaving. And then you go to bed and you're like, why did I just do that?
Yeah. No, I don't see how you feel great about that leaving. If you knew you had
because you're getting it from Davari. He looks like the kind of guy who's so slick. He's going to make you think that.
He makes you think it's a good deal.
Not like when you go to that dude at Pawn Stars who, he says he's a turd. He's like, give you $25 for that. And you're like, no, man.
And then he starts berating you.
Yeah. He brings in a historian to tell me about it. And then he says, I'm going to give you $25. I'm like, this dude just talked about 30 minutes about how historically significant it is. And then you're going to give me pennies for it? Get out of here with your bald head, man. Nobody likes you. I'll go to Hardcore Pawn instead. I'll get shot there.
Arya Davari took on Clay Roberts. Clay Roberts was great.
He looked like a character from Red Dead Online.
Yeah.
This is actually my match of the week right here.
Oh, it was. It was great because Davari was laying into Clay Roberts with a bunch of lariats. And then he goes for one more, and Clay Roberts just falls.
He just falls, and he's spitting he's like frothing at the mouth.
He lands right in his face.
And his eyes are in the back of his head.
Good. It was a great sell. Little Nate had to stop the match.
Yeah, this was awesome, man. It was like an old-timey Clay Roberts. Time travel, didn't know what he was getting into. Arya Davari just murders him on the spot. It was pretty cool.
It was
like a WCW match.
Easily the highlight of 205 Live this week.
After that, we had a Mustafa Ali promo. He's really good.
Oh, he's incredible.
And he said, Cedric's my friend, but if whoever's got the title, I'll keep an eye out for me.
Yep.
Then we had Cedric Alexander interview when he was like, nah, man, me and Mustafa Ali, we're great. We're best friends.
Before that, he kind of teased, like joking around, hey, yeah, we got problems.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, we're best friends.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of personality there in Cedric, but yeah, he's great in the ring. And that's what he said, essentially. He says, I don't need to be Mr. Personality. I don't need to play mind games. I'm great in the ring.
Yeah.
I'm completely dull as can be. I'm a black hole of charisma.
He's as dull as could be.
Completely.
He's not as dull as could be. Imagine
that
if
door handle over there has more charisma.
I think if Cedric turned heel, he'd actually be pretty good.
I don't know, man. It might be boring as heel, too. Great in-ring competitor, though.
Yeah, because like his performance, his acting in the ring is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's awesome.
So that's got to translate on the mic to a certain point.
But, he starts talking. I'm like,
remember TJP when he was a face? Turned heel? Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, he is really good now.
So
he is really good now. I do really appreciate how TJP, it took him a while, but he's great now. He found his thing.
Yep.
And it's like borderline checked out, a mild bit of arrogance. Like sometimes it's a bunch of ingredients.
It's a little bit checked out, a little bit of arrogance, a lot of whiny.
Yeah.
'Cause he's pretty whiny.
Yeah.
But it's all wildly entertaining.
It really is.
Collecting their maskers.
Collecting their maskers. Oh, man.
After that, we had a Noam Dar iPhone promo in his car. Hopefully he wasn't driving, where apparently he wants a match against Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, I like that he called his friend Tony Nese daft. Daft is one of I like that as an English expression. You and your daft friend Tony Nese. So next week, find out why they call me Supernuve 11.
Yeah. But he said, put the title aside. If we're going to match against a champion, have him put the title up.
Maybe that's to maybe he's actually going to win this match. And that's why the title's not on the line.
He's not going to win the match. Get out of here. It's Buddy Murphy.
I don't need the title. That was more Irish. Anyways, after that, we had a Lucha House Party in a tag team tornado tag match against Mike Kanellis and TJP.
This was all right.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was all right. You know when they produced, I think it was Lindsay dumped the bag of mini pinatas on the mat?
That was good.
It was a good visual, But they're little cardboard pinatas. It's not going to hurt to get suplexed
Oh, come on.
there.
Don't go there. That's the point of it. That's the absolute point of it.
I understand that's the point of it, but I'm like...
That's something out of like one of those Joey Janela shows.
It kind of takes me out of it a little bit.
Oh, no, I love that.
Because WWE doesn't do that stuff usually.
I know, which is why I liked it. Because it's so completely silly.
Oh, it is silly.
Nobody should sell for that, which is what I actually found joyful about it. Because it's so dumb. Sometimes I like when they highlight how dumb pro wrestling is.
Oh, I don't mind that either, but it's just when it comes completely out of the blue like that, I'm like, that's not usually how they operate.
Yeah, no, I dug it because it's like they never do that. So yeah, that was good. Like you said, there was one spot where there's like a bunch of mini pinatas, on the ground, and there's a bunch of teasing. It was like a superplex tease. There were a couple others, and then eventually TJP got doled out. He landed on them.
Superplex.
He was selling it like it was friggin' thumbtacks.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with that because it's kind of like here's the thing. I understand what you're saying in that it came out of nowhere. If they kept that thread going and eventually evolved 205 Live into the DDT Pro,
that'd be fine.
How great would that be?
Great.
That would be great. I would love that. That'd be fantastic.
That would be fantastic. Anyways, Lince Dorado picked up the win, pinning TJP after a Salida del Sol from Kalisto and a shooting star press from himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you think the show is over, but no, we get like another video package and then a brief Tony Nese promo.
I would have missed this, but I was like, hold on, I've missed stuff before. They do this a lot where they like, maybe are they
like
changing
false finishes?
Are they like changing the SmackDown stuff or something? They don't change the ring ropes anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
In any event, we got a Tony. Maybe they just good
give
punctuation.
Tony some spotlight, and he just said, "I'm gonna beat Cedric Alexander next week."
Yeah, he's totally not going to do it.
No. Cedric's totally going to win
because with not a lot of explanation, now Cedric is going to be good enough again to go for the title.
Well, because he pinned Buddy Murphy last week.
Yeah, is that all it takes? Just
I guess you're ready to beat the champ when you pin the champ.
I want at least another training montage in the Performance Center.
Yeah, that was really well done.
When people are selling for fake moves.
Yeah. Here, let's do some super chats here.
Okay.
Bill Saucier, will Aleister Black versus Gargano round 2 be better than the first? I don't know. The first match was incredible.
This isn't a steel cage, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends how creative they get. We'll see. Jonathan, slap on the hands Martinez.
Instead of punishment Martinez.
Yes. Kyle Mushigan, you guys think good mid-card WWE guys might start not re-signing and going to Ring of Honor or New Japan to get some more freedom and make a bigger name? It's entirely
there
possible.
There has to be a flow the other way.
Yeah.
I would imagine there would have to be within a year.
Well, that would require, I don't know, the contract structure of, say, someone that's not getting opportunities in the mid-card. And then they might be free agents. But WWE sure as heck ain't going to release them these days.
No, they're not. So
they've got to sit it out and wait for their contract to come up.
Like, let me ask you something. Let's say Ty Dillinger's making $350 a year. Mm-hmm. He could make that in, like, Ring of Honor would plunk down that for him,
maybe.
wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I think they probably would, or at least 200.
But he's also been in developmental so long.
Yeah.
That he might just be... He just might be used to the WWE system too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It'll be interesting, man. I don't know. I mean, if the money is, because I do think that money is a lot to most wrestlers as well. Anybody who's out there looking for a job. So if the money is out there, which you would think that, Sinclair's a big company. I know it's Ring of Honor, but Sinclair's a big company.
Oh, yeah, it's a massive company.
So I don't know. I don't know how much they want to put in the Ring of Honor.
New Japan has money.
New Japan has money, and they know how to make stars. Mm-hmm. So you would think it would start flowing at some point, but I don't know, man. I don't know if
it would. Thing is, it would require layoffs. I think to a certain extent, WWE would have to lay off 5-10 wrestlers. Because for it to actually kind of swing the pendulum the other way, any amount, because one or two guys' contract are going to be up at the end of the year and they decide not to re-sign. Short of it being someone like Nakamura or Balor or something like that, I think it's going to have to be a quantity thing.
Well, here's the thing, because this isn't talking about. This is simply. Do you think good mid-card WWE guys?
No, I know. Yeah.
This isn't like, I'm not talking about, is this going to swing the pendulum in terms of, like, is New Japan, This is simply within the next year or two. There's going to be way too many people.
Oh yeah. That's what I mean. I'm not saying like
And so if the money is there, you're going to start seeing probably people understanding. Look, I'm not doing it. They don't have any use for me here.
Yeah.
And if I can make the same money,
yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, but I'm sorry. Then what was your point about the 5 or 10 guys? What was that?
Oh no, it was just to make a difference. Like if New Japan, Ring of Honor, especially Ring of Honor here in the States, since they're losing the Young Bucks and Cody, if they really want to say, okay, we need to bring some former WWE guys to make a difference.
Oh, to make a difference,
just in terms of raising their own
profile. Oh,
yes.
sure, yeah. One guy's not going to do it unless it's a big name. No, I agree with that completely. But yeah, I think on an individual wrestler basis, you might see some more reflection.
Oh, definitely,
especially if the money's there. You know.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big
they're
thing.
Take, if it's worth taking 10%, 15% less money.
If somebody's making $300,000 doing nothing, they're not going to take $100,000 to do something. You know what I mean?
But if they're making $300,000 to do nothing except work house shows, but maybe they'll do $250 to actually be involved.
That's
involved in a major way. And
you would think
in a smaller
that's
promotion.
Yeah, I could agree. Yeah, that makes sense.
Josh Little, does punishment losing his debut make him look weaker?
Well, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
He
lost to Matt Riddle. He lost to Matt Riddle.
Yeah, who hasn't really done anything yet.
He knocked out Cassius Ohno with just one knee.
Cassius Ohno, exactly. Who hasn't exactly had.
He put in a good fight. He gave Matt Riddle a decent match. They should have given it twice as long, the match itself. But that's just nature of NXT TV. They try to jam so much in there. No, I don't think he looked weak.
I'll put it this way: it puts punishment, and I like punishment so much
because I offered him a donut, and I told my wife that story last night.
It's a great story. You offered that man a donut, and he said he was so close. I wonder if that donut was the one thing that might have kept him from being signed, because that might have added one little extra minute layer of chunkiness to him.
But I felt like he moved. Like I've seen some of his work in
he moved. Yeah,
he moved really well.
Yeah,
he did. He was moving better, crisper.
This puts him in more of a class with Dijak than it does with Keith Lee.
Oh yeah, but
it's a worse class to be in.
Have you not been watching the vignettes been running for Top Notch? Feast your eyes.
Yeah, but
they got major things planned for them.
That's after a name rebrand.
A slight name rebrand. They had an extra. They had like an extra syllable at the end of it.
They think that the person we saw laughing during his Velveteen Dream match is a different guy than these promos. That's what we're led to believe. That's what they want us to think. Punishment. That's it. That's what we're getting.
Here's what I'm telling you.
And he's coming out losing a match.
He lost to Matt Riddle. He's going to win. He's going to beat a bunch of jobbers for the next 3 months, and he'll be fine.
All right, man. I'm gonna bring this back to you.
He'll
then
be fine.
I'm gonna bring this back to you. I hope you're right, because I like him, because he said no to your donut.
But he considered it.
He definitely considered it. That's what I like so much about him. He had to think about it.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't.
Just put him on the mic. I love his voice.
Oh, he's got a great voice.
He's got a great voice.
All right, let's talk about NXT UK.
All right.
2 hours of it.
Yeah.
Hour 1 kicked off with the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang dubbing themselves Gallus.
Yeah. Some of this confused me. I had to look up what Gallus meant.
Yeah.
It means sort of, what did it mean again? Well, at one point it was like a dude who was going to be hanged for crimes, right? But then also like you'd be used
impressive. I think that's what it was.
Wild, kind of a rascal. It's got sort of a bunch of different sort of etymologies, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I had to look it up, though. I texted Wayne Maker. He was useless. He was like, I don't know. I didn't watch it yet. I'm like, well, you're useless now. I know he's in chat right now. But and so, yeah, I didn't really know what that was.
Yeah, no idea.
But then I looked it up. So Gallus, that's their name. And Wolfgang. That's kind of an interesting dynamic. Did you see one of the Coffee, when Wolfgang was on the mic saying Gallus a lot?
Yeah, then Mark Coffee went and like grabbed the mic from him.
He was kind of like telling him to chill out and give me the mic.
Yeah.
It was as if somebody was going to a guy and he didn't want him to cry. He was like, "You're getting too emotional.
You're getting too worked up here."
What?
Because Wolfgang was like, "This ring is Gallus."
Right?
This whole thing is Gallus.
That popcorn box is Gallus.
That empty beer cup is Gallus.
Everywhere I look, there's Gallus.
That Tim Tam rapper over there, Gallus.
That Aero bar over there, Gallus. Oh, Gallus, it's old Gallus. And he was like, "Oi,
The McVitie's I have in my luggage in the locker room. They're Gallus.
My scones are Gallus. He was about to cry talking about Gallus.
I know.
This and Gallus that.
Too worked up, too fired up. Anyway,
so Mark was like, chill out. Give the mic back to my brother.
Give it back to Joe. Eventually, they get done talking. Travis Banks runs out. And Gallus, of course, just attacks him.
Mm-hmm.
Mustache Mountain comes out and makes the save. Tyler Bate was wearing some pretty tight leather pants with his merch shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
And some loafers with no socks. Those guys are some snappy dressers.
There's some very, very snappy dressers, but it also makes me feel kind of uncomfortable. My favorite is when they just run out in the WWE Performance Center basketball shorts.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Those look so comfy.
Well, here's the thing. In the second episode, again, Tyler Bate ran out in those same leather pants, but he had a dress shirt on.
Yeah.
So he gets involved in the scrum, and at one point, it's like he's kind of like lurking around the ringside area. He's on the floor. I'm like, dude, you're going to scratch up your leather pants.
He's crawling on all hands and
or
knees.
pleather. I don't know if they're real leather or not. Nonetheless, I'm sure they're not cheap.
No, probably
not. You
not.
don't want to tear up your expensive pants, man.
Yeah, it's obvious those guys got a pay raise.
Oh,
Can't even wrestle in your own promotion, Trent Seven.
That's so weird.
Hang your head in shame.
So weird. Anyways, next we had a Fabian Eichner interview. He had a match coming up against Mark Andrews. I don't really remember much what he said, though.
Yeah, me neither.
Next, Jordan Devlin.
I honestly think I was too focused on figuring out because is he from Austria?
Italy.
Italy. Okay.
He's Italian.
Okay. All right.
Next, Jordan Devlin interview where he again says he is the ace of Ireland. Talking about a deck of cards. What trumps all?
The ace.
The ace.
The ace. That's correct. Because it could be a one or a nothing, right? Is that what it is? Or a one or a great one? Or
yeah, it can
most
be
powerful.
Begin or end everything.
Alpha and Omega.
It is the Alpha and the Omega, yes.
Yeah.
Then we had Mark Andrews versus Fabian Eichner. A really fun match. That spot where Mark Andrews did like a moonsault off the top rope and Eichner caught him.
This was, dude, this
right
was
to a brainbuster.
Okay, so I joked earlier about the old-timey guy versus Daivari match. This, I think, was my match of the week in the deep cuts. This was good. This was a really, really good match. If I were to suggest any match from all these shows this week, it'd be this one.
Oh, yeah. It was really good.
Tons
Eichner,
of false finishes.
Yeah. And Mark Andrews had the upper hand for quite a bit of the match. But Eichner picked up the win with like a vicious spinning powerbomb.
I really hope Eichner becomes more of a staple in NXT UK. I hope that's going to be his thing because, man, he is impressed so far.
He's a really good wrestler.
Yeah, he's really good. I just, he didn't have a whole lot of exposure in NXT Prime.
No, he was more or less a jobber. He put on good matches, but he'd lose all the time.
There's not a whole lot of like super athletic big dudes. All the big dudes in the UK, they're all hosses. Otherwise, you're a cruiserweight like Mark Andrews and super athletic.
Probably the closest analogy to Fabian Eichner maybe is Tyler Bate. But I feel like Eichner's larger.
Eichner's bigger. That's the thing.
And he's a better flyer.
Yeah.
But
like
I mean,
Joe
Tyler
Connors is probably bigger, like taller anyways.
Yeah, but he's not.
Than Tyler Bate, I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess in terms of athletically, who could match up with Fabian Eichner? I guess Tyler Bate in the UK scene.
That's a good.
It's the closest analogy.
Yeah.
After that, an Isla Dawn vignette.
She's sort of like a Game of Thrones person. Is that what it is?
Well, they call her the White Witch.
Yeah.
So there's a supernatural aspect to it.
Yeah. So she can like.
Yeah.
Real or fake? Her witch powers.
She's got like brewing some sort of spell in a cauldron.
Yeah.
It's like
some rabbit feet.
Some rabbit's feet and some skin of newt. And wing of bat.
Right.
Stirring it in a cauldron. No, it's all fake.
And she has the cutest little lisp. Because when she talks, she has a lisp. It's cute.
Next, we had a Johnny Saint interview where...
What did you say about Johnny Saint before we went on air?
I said a lot. What specifically are you talking about? They gave him an assistant because they realized that he's not that interesting as a GM. As an authority figure, he's just not that interesting right now.
Well, I was talking about Cedric having no personality earlier. My favorite thing is when... So there's this thing that I texted you about this morning. During their backstage interview segments, they whatever lens they're using, it's like you on the Friendo Road. You're obsessed with the
shallow depth of field.
The shallow depth of
field.
Well,
I thought that was actually really good with this Fabian Eichner interview because the interview guy was in the foreground out of focus.
Yeah,
and it had a very kind of documentary feel to it.
Okay, yeah.
When it's framed right and used correctly, I think it's really effective.
They're using it everywhere.
They got it's like a real guerrilla style, but then this one was like them against a backdrop.
Yeah,
and the depth of field was not perfect.
Right. Yeah, because here's the thing. When the interview guy, I keep on forgetting his name. Razzie? something like
Something
that.
along those lines, yeah.
When he steps back 6 inches,
It's really shallow.
he is completely out of focus. Like you have to be on a perfect, like perpendicular line to the thing to make sure you're within that super, like that's within a hair, a sliver of being in focus. And you need some freedom of movement there. Otherwise, it's just kind of...
It depends. It depends on the setup.
It does. And I like what you said earlier, but like it kind of worked during the creeping Eddie Dennis bit.
Yeah, it totally worked then.
It kind of worked then, even though when Mastiff was walking into frame, into his spot, that dude was trying to figure out where the hell he is.
Again, I don't. It doesn't bother me because it gives it more of a documentary feel. It's It's a different feel than anything else on the network. It was actually... Like, before we started, I was talking about NXT UK, how maybe this is this season's episode, because it's a lot to watch, that I'm not connecting with it like I am other products on the WWE Network, because I feel like more than anything, like the stories just aren't really there. There's not a whole lot of stories. Like, every week you just get different matchups, and there's a story between the Coffees or Gallus now, and British Strong Style. There's stories, but I'm not connecting with them.
Well, everybody's spilling pints at the bar, that's why. Because it's the same story.
They need to show that.
Yeah.
They're just not showing it.
Yeah.
So I got to appreciate what is different about NXT UK that I can get into.
Yeah.
And if they're taking a different visual approach to it, I can get into that.
You know why I think it bothers me is because here's the thing. I agree that I'd be totally cool with a different visual approach. I think I just think that they would take a different visual approach than the one they are taking, even though it is different. Impact does kind of the same thing. They have these DSLRs that they use.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that, where the focus is all over the place.
And it's all over the place. And I just felt that last night, more than any other time in the past, last night on UK.
Oh, it's the first time I really noticed it, yeah.
It was really evident. So that's why. When it was the backdrop, which is the place where you never expect the depth of field to be that drastic.
Like I mentioned earlier, the Fabian Eichner interview, I thought was really well done.
Yeah, because
that
it was
really
framed
well done.
like
it was
a documentary.
Framed really
I totally
well.
get that.
It was framed well. In the Eddie Dennis bit in episode 2 where Mastiff walks into frame, granted they had to get the focus on him, whatever, it doesn't bother me. And then in the background, out of focus, you see a figure enter frame through a doorway and just lurk there.
Yeah.
And you're like, who the heck is that?
Yeah.
And then they rack focus, you see it's Eddie Dennis.
Yeah, I thought
That's
it
well
worked
done.
there, yeah. In certain situations, it can work. I just think with the backdrop, it's kind of wonky.
Yeah, the backdrop's not a good idea. Next, so Sid Scala is Johnny Saint's new assistant general manager.
I think it's great. I think it's because I love Sid Scala.
Yeah, he's got a good personality.
I think he's good.
And then Rhea Ripley walks in and says, I need competition. I'm champ now.
She was about to check Sid, too, because she's huge.
Yeah.
And he's tiny.
Yeah.
She was about to check him. And she said she wants some real competition.
Then next we got Nina Samuels versus Isla Dawn. And then Isla Dawn went with her finisher. After that, Tucker versus Eddie Dennis. Pretty quick match.
I freaking love Eddie Dennis, man.
He won with his finisher.
I think, you know what, man? I told you this. I think Eddie Dennis is going to be the dude to take a title off Pete Dunne.
Whoever, I think...
It's because it's going to be Dennis. It's not going to be Mastiff. It's going to be Dennis.
I don't know. I still say the money's on Walter.
I think it's going to be too long for him. I think they're probably going to want... Here's the thing. Have you noticed when Gallus talks about British Strong Style, who's the third guy? It's not Pete Dunne. It's Travis Banks now. So it's going to end up being like a Mustache Mountain Travis Banks faction.
But do you see who Pete Dunne's facing at Takeover?
Have they announced that?
Well, they announced it at the tapings.
Oh, so it's not. So it's in spoiler. It's in spoiler territory.
Yeah.
Is it a coffee? Ah, okay. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not saying. Okay, so that's interesting. Okay, all right.
Because Pete Dunne was involved, a week ago? He did come out with British Strong Style.
Yeah, you know what, though? That the Gallus guys, right, they're getting a pretty big... I mean, they have a name for their faction. That could be title. Could be title.
Could be. No.
Could be title.
Nah.
Could be title.
It's going to be Walter, man.
Eddie Dennis.
A year from now, yeah, Eddie Dennis.
Because Eddie Dennis has a past with Pete Dunne.
I know, and they mentioned that in the vignettes before his debut, but since he's actually been wrestling, they don't talk about it. They don't talk about it at all.
Yeah.
So there's an interesting story thread they're going with these vignettes before he debuted, but now that he's actually wrestling, anything interesting they did with him in terms of the story aspect is gone. They don't mention it anymore. That's kind of the thing. They start these little interesting ideas, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to connect with it.
I finally figured out what Eddie Dennis what his ring gear reminds me of. It reminds me of when we used to play basketball at the Folsom D League. Was it D League? Is that what they called it?
No. It's just Rec League, man.
Rec League, yeah. But it was like there's like no, but it's like D League because Hilton was telling me that like there's like C League, B League, and like A
there's
League.
levels to it. I don't know
Yeah.
what level. We were probably the lowest level.
Yeah, no, we totally were. We're like a step above, like
F League.
F League. He reminds me of a guy that would show up to one of those games, and
Yeah, I
that
can see
team
that.
would win.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because he's the one guy on the floor that's like 6'2" and
taller
over
than average height. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's what he reminds me of. But he's still not that good.
No, he just has to be taller than anybody. He's just good enough.
Exactly.
They bill him
anyways-
at what, 230?
What's that?
Eddie Dennis, I think they bill him at 230. Do you think he's actually 230 pounds?
At 6'5"?
Yeah.
He's really thin.
I feel like he's built just like me, just 6 inches taller. 6.5 inches taller.
Yeah. Which is a big difference. Like, at that point, it's hard to get around.
Yeah. It's hard for me to get around now.
It makes it... See, this is actually the joy of UK for me. Because
not the product itself, it's talking about the product.
It really is. Because there's so many weird things going on there. Anyways, this Tucker guy who had a backstory, I forgot what it was,
they said he was born, 8 weeks premature or something like that?
Yes, that's his backstory. See, like, what a weird backstory.
Well, for Joseph Connors, his entire backstory is he got in a bar fight, almost lost an ear. Or lost part of his ear. And then they tacked on he was left for dead, too. Which I don't know if that's true.
Great backstory.
But for the whole first United Kingdom tournament, before every match, they show off the half ear he has.
Yeah.
Anyway, Eddie Dennis won with his finisher.
Yeah.
Main event was a pretty fun match between Flash Morgan Webster and Jordan Devlin. I noticed the Webster's not wearing his parka anymore. He's dialing back the mod a little bit.
Yeah, but then didn't they mention one of his moves is called the
Bob O'Reilly something?
Bob O'Reilly, which I hadn't noticed before. Yeah, I mean he's not riding to the ring on a scooter,
a moped.
Yeah, they were dialing it. Did he wear his sunglasses this time?
I think so, but I don't remember the helmet.
Okay,
maybe he didn't have the helmet.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, before it was just like a Halloween mod costume.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He needs to start dropping more mod references in his promos, though.
Oh, sure. But in not clever ways.
Yeah.
In not subtle ways.
Yeah. This is a fun match. Jordan Devlin won with his finisher. Can't remember what they called it.
He did something. He did a signature right before that. That was really cool, though.
Oh, Jordan Devlin's great.
Yeah, he's really good.
It
was
great.
something. God, what was it? It was. Oh, was that yanking thing?
Oh yeah, he pulled him in for the German suplex.
Yeah, that's really.
He did that against Pete Dunne too. It was great.
Yeah.
Second hour of NXT UK kicked off with Joseph Connors, the man with 1.5 ears, versus Dan Maloney.
I love Joseph Connors. Does he always come out with that? Man, I swear to God, I just don't pay attention.
Oh, the robe?
Yeah.
No, I think that's a newer thing.
I think that's a newer thing, right?
Yeah, ever since he turned on Saxon Huxley. He said, I'm going to make a robe for myself now. Separate myself.
Because I think before it was a gray jacket or something.
Yeah.
Now it's I think before it was a gray, a trench coat or something.
Here's the thing, though. If
That's
they're pushing Joseph Connors as being this, street tough guy.
Double hard guy.
Yeah. And he's got this robe with a bunch of sequins on it.
Right.
Shouldn't he come out in a leather jacket?
Right, yeah.
Or how about this? A leather robe.
That's good, too.
With some studs on it.
But no, fancy glowy stuff, sparklies.
But it looks great.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't fit him, though.
No, it doesn't fit him.
Looks great, though.
It does look great.
Yeah. Dan Maloney's an odd character. He just has an odd-looking face. Connors won with a...
What's his finisher? I think it's called Don't Look Down or something like that.
Oh, that's a great name for a finish. After that, we had an Isla Dawn interview.
Interrupted by Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And Rhea says, maybe you're the competition I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. She said, but pay attention because I've got somebody else in mind.
Yeah.
Nobody's been able to find good competition. Maybe it's you, but I went out and found my own person.
Yeah.
I'm about to beat them up right now. So check that business out. After that, we had this. This was great. This is my favorite sequence of the freaking week. It was this parking lot bit.
They probably saw this as all right, we need to hire someone to help Johnny Sane here. Anyway, so go ahead.
Mustache Mountain showing up to the arena.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about this was simply the background. because it was just so British. It's
totally.
It's like everything's gray.
Yeah.
And the architecture is magnifique. It's so beautiful. It is so
You
flippin' beautiful.
You could feel the 55-degree temperatures.
Right. And Mustache Mountain shows up, and they're talking about their shirts. I didn't hear exactly what they were saying because the mic was oddly low. But Trent Seven was talking something about to Tyler Bate, and Tyler Bate like pulled on his shirt like, yeah, this is prime stuff.
Yeah.
This is select.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're showing up. And then pan over, and Gallus is yelling at them.
Yeah.
They've got their weird street clothes on.
Yeah.
Wolfgang, I don't know what the hell he's wearing. He's got some weird
He went
blue.
to Woolworth and got a suit, huh?
Well, yeah. Well, I don't think Woolworths is there anymore.
Oh, okay.
I think they actually went out of business.
Yeah, they did.
But even that being said, he probably got it from Woolworths.
Yeah, probably.
So he's wearing something goofy. The Coffees look like they're, football hooligans.
Yeah.
Right? They're showing up. What's his face? The lead coffee guy sounds like Begbie.
Joe
sounds like Begbie from Trainspotting. It's great. They're yelling at each other. Out of nowhere comes the headmaster, Johnny Saint.
And with zero authority in his voice. All right. Separate it. Break it up.
All right, you.
You get out of here.
Back up. And the camera's getting oddly close on him, so we don't know what the other guys who are actually involved in the action are doing.
Well, there was no action. That's the thing. There was all talk. It was all talk.
Exactly. Yeah. They're supposed to be like hard English boys. They're supposed to be throwing down.
I know.
With knives and stuff.
Yeah. Don't tell you.
It's supposed to be like an Alan Clark film, dude.
Yeah,
That's what I want to see.
Next, Wild Boar Mike Hitchman taking on Dave Mastiff.
Yeah, I love that Wild Boar guy.
Kind of remind me of Kevin Sullivan.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
And like he walks out and he's like, well, he seems like a pretty stout dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mastiff walks out.
Yeah.
And towers over him basically.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I guess not so much. Mastiff won. It was actually a fairly competitive match.
Yeah, it was good.
Mastiff,
two big dudes going at it.
Mastiff picked the win with the cannonball afterwards. Mastiff had an interview, and we mentioned it earlier. Out of focus in the background, pops in a figure through a doorway, listening in, and it's Eddie Dennis in headmaster gear.
He had glasses, like a black suit. He was very curious. Didn't say anything. Mastiff didn't even know he was there.
Yeah.
Camera guy did because he had to focus in on him.
Yeah.
He had to find his focus. So yeah, that was good. I just see Eddie Dennis maybe going over in that one.
Potentially. I don't know. They got huge things planned, it seems, for Dave Mastiff.
Maybe, but I think they got bigger things planned for Eddie. We shall find out.
They'll be telling who wins this match.
Yeah. Oh, next up. Oh, Tyson D-Bone. Oh, did you see that dude came out in a dress shirt that was unbuttoned and rolled up, and then nothing else about him was dressy. He had like some cargo pants that were like maroon.
He had his branded tank top.
I like that. I like that shirt. I get one of those for summertime. Tank top too.
Oh dear.
Tyson T-Bone. I have to channel my inner Tyson T-Bone. Hey, fucker. Yeah, I want to fight there, Ligero.
Goodness.
I was so upset though. I was really pulling for Tyson T-Bone here. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
And instead, I mean, look, they're not going to give me Zach Gibson. At least they gave me Tyson T-Bone. But he didn't pick up the win against Ligero.
How did Ligero won with just a springboard splash? His finisher is like a springboard tornado DDT. How come he didn't do that?
You don't need that against Tyson T-Bone. Oh yeah, just a splash will do it.
That's one of your.
Yeah, come here, fucker.
We'll do the job on Tyson T-Bone. Next, we had a Rhea Ripley video package followed by a Rhea Ripley promo.
This was Rhea Ripley having a couple weeks.
It was, and following that was a Rhea Ripley match where she took on Candy Floss. Oh, and during her promos in the ring, she was like, "Yeah, I'm all about opportunity, so bring out whoever I'm going to beat now."
Yeah, bring out this Candy Floss, yeah, fucker.
And then Candy Floss came down. Short match. Rhea Ripley goes over with Riptide. She helps Candy Floss up after the match, raises her hand, takes a couple steps back, and just levels her.
Yeah.
Just destroys her.
Yeah, that was good.
Tosses her out of the ring. After that, we got a brief Flash Morgan Webster press conference. Fabian Eichner comes into frame. And,
hold on, I'm sorry. They're talking about Woolworths in chat right now. Alex C. said, and all Woolworths sold was pick and mix and DVDs. What is pick and mix?
I have no idea.
What is that?
I have no idea.
I know what the Lucky Dip is. Alex C. and Waymaker. Did you guys ever do the Lucky Dip?
Is that the candy stuff?
No, the Lucky Dip was when I lived there. No, but that's what it sounds like. No, when I lived there, the little carnival would come to town to Air Force Base that I lived on, and so all the British vendors who I think now that I think about it, were just confidence men, would show up and then have the lucky dip. All lucky dip was, it was like a prize wrapped in like some newspaper, right? And you'd pay £2 and you'd reach in and you'd pull out a toy, which was worth maybe 10 pence.
Yeah.
And you'd be happy because it was a mystery.
Yeah.
Like you're paying
for the experience.
£1.90 for the experience of the lucky dip.
Yeah.
It was a massive scam, but I loved it.
Yeah.
And my dad thought it was hilarious because he was probably thinking his son, he had a dullard as a kid.
Gullible child.
Dumb bastard. You dumb bastard. They're getting one over on the Yanks. That's what they were doing, man. Ooh, lucky dip. Sure, here's £2. Piece of crap breaks within 10 minutes.
Yep. So Flash Morgan Webster's doing this impromptu press conference. In walks Fabian Eichner. Webster says, "Hey, you took some liberties with my friend Mark Andrews during the match." I don't remember that really happening.
Did he beat him up after the match?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
And Fabian Eichner says, "Well, you want to do something about it? How about next week?"
Fabian Eichner was the least concerned person when talking.
He's like, "I'm not worried."
He's like, "Look, man, you want a match next week? That's fine." That should be a good one, though. I mean, I like Webster's a DC. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
He's a weird wrestler, but he's a good wrestler.
Yeah.
But yeah, Eichner was like, "Dude, I'm buff, and you look 12 or 50. I can't tell." In any event, I'm not concerned.
Any event, I'm gonna win. No worries. Sid Scala had a promo next
with the hovering helicopter freaking parent Johnny Saint, who looked thoroughly confused,
and he was out of focus.
he was out of focus. But was that just a metaphor for like what he's supposed to be? Like a guy who's out of his element, overwhelmed?
I don't know.
Like Regal seems overly concerned with everything.
Yeah.
That dude he's conducting criminal investigations.
Yeah, that's not his purview.
Regal is all about everything. That dude is sharp.
Yeah.
Johnny Saint has no idea what's going on right now. I am not even sure he understands that NXT is a WWE thing. I'm just not sure. So anyway, Sid Scala, who obviously is staging some sort of coup d'etat here.
Seems that way.
Like he's probably taken, I don't know what
he's taking the term takeover literally.
He is. He's probably taken Johnny Saint's Social Security checks as well.
Oh, dear.
Whatever the British equivalent to Social Security is. So anyways, he said, "Johnny Saint has given me the authority to make my first match. It's Trent Seven versus..."
One of the Coffee brothers.
One of the Coffees. Mark, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe Mark Coffee next week. And Johnny Saint sort of nodded in approval, but honestly, I'm not sure he knew what was going on.
Main event, Wolfgang versus Travis Banks. Pretty short match. Coffee brothers at the end stay on the apron. Distracts Travis Banks. Mustache Mountain runs down, makes a save. This is when Tyler Bate was rolling around the floor in his expensive-looking pants. The finish saw Wolfgang try to suplex Travis Banks. Trent Seven trips him up by the ropes, and Banks covers him for the win.
Yeah.
Thus concludes NXT UK. Now on to NXT Prime.
It's a proper NXT after 53 minutes of a podcast. We get to NXT.
We get to the part of the show where everybody actually wants to know the results for.
Exactly.
Show kicked off with Matt Riddle versus the debuting Punishment Martinez.
This is debut. I made my debut. Why is that so funny?
Because he knew it was funny.
Because he knew it was stupid.
It was a pretty fun match, even though it's probably only about 6 minutes long.
What did you think of? Did you notice or remember Punishment Martinez's theme song? Every dude, are the CFO dollar signs? Are they on a Dateline kick right now? Because I feel like
they have Dateline vibes like Eddie Dennis.
There's Eddie Dennis, and then somebody else had a Dateline vibe, and I forget who it was.
Eddie Dennis just sounds like music bed from Dateline. His theme is such a Dateline or 48 Hours theme.
Tonight on 48 Hours, she was a small town teacher who had her head taken off by an ex-boyfriend.
His first 48. Remember that show used to be like, it used to be a criminal investigation. They used to say the first 48 hours, the most important of any criminal investigation.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Cover the first 48 hours of the criminal investigation. That was an interesting show in a day.
It was,
when
yeah.
It debuted.
When it debuted.
Matt Riddle picked up the win with the Bro Mission.
Fairly quick match.
Yeah, it was. It should have been twice as long. But it was that great spot where Riddle tries to put on Punishment. Punishment kind of fights out of it. Riddle just takes his hand and starts chopping away at Punishment's chest to get the Bro Mission in.
Is there a precedent? I don't know this off the top of my head. a precedent for a guy who comes in who isn't going to get a rebrand.
Losing his first match.
Losing his first match. There probably is.
Yeah, I feel like it happened. Wasn't there someone who debuted, and I don't think it was the first match, but lost relatively quickly, and I was like, maybe they get the loss out of the way. And they weren't rebranded. I can't remember who it is.
Remember Leo Rush lost every match in NXT.
Oh, it was Leo Rush. He lost his first match.
Okay.
The Velveteen Dream.
Yeah.
Or Lars Sullivan, one of the two.
Both. I think it was both.
Yeah, he lost both of them.
He only had 2 matches in NXT.
He lost them both.
Yeah.
It was Leo.
That could be.
Next, we had a Ricochet video package followed by a pretty awesome Ricochet press conference. That coat he was wearing.
Oh, man. Magnifique.
Man, he's a
it
sharp
great.
dresser.
It looked great. They asked him about
what's next.
You're a human highlight reel here in NXT, wowing the crowds. He says, I didn't come here to be that, but I'm happy I am.
I'm here to win,
That's
be
why
champion.
I have this championship right here. So
what's
he
next?
says,
I want a competition.
I'm going to talk to Regal, and we're going to find out next week. I think next week he's
Yeah.
going to have a title defense. Yeah. So cool. Who's it going to be?
Well, I know.
Oh, God damn. You know, you got to stop with that. Just go like this and then tell me. Oh, cool.
That is
Right
cool.
on.
That'd be pretty great. Next, Raul Mendoza and Humberto Carrillo taking on the Forgotten Sons.
This bugged the shit
this
out of me.
Carrillo kid is awesome.
Oh my God.
He is phenomenal.
He is great. Dude, why is it the Forgotten Sons, whose name is chock full of irony because they're totally forgettable, except for, who is it? Gunner? Bram?
Yeah, Jackson Riker.
Gunner.
I
always think, I
but he
can't.
hardly ever wrestles.
He never wrestles, and he just stares at the camera like a weirdo. The other two barely look like they're in shape, and they a stomp / scorpion death drop
finish. Yeah,
it was the finish.
Yeah,
it's not good. And meanwhile, Raul and especially Humberto,
man,
oh my God,
they're so good.
They were so good as a tag team.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
I know Karen's been bugging us about them for a while. She's like,
Yeah.
dude, check these guys are going to be. They are so good. Why are they the ones getting the scrub treatment here?
I don't know.
Oh, my goodness.
Like the Forgotten Sons music hits, and it doesn't seem like anybody cares.
Nobody does. And I don't get it. They come out, and they start like, they're doing like sort of like the intense face, we're going to, or at least intense heels where they're like, they should come out like Gunner?
Yeah.
Like Gunner is.
Yeah.
Jackson Riker?
Yeah.
That was a terrible.
Oh, yeah, no,
He just comes out like he's Nosferatu.
Yeah.
He comes out.
That's how it should be.
Just like, and the other two should be doing that too, but they're all like doing their fist pumps and stuff like that.
Leave that for heavy machinery. All that stuff.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, man.
Heavy machinery can do that.
That dude keeps on looking at the camera.
Get your
freaking
own
me
thing.
out.
Get your own thing, Forgotten Sons.
That Carrillo,
man,
that's a stud.
Yeah.
He's good, man. He's good.
Next, we had a Velveteen Dream interview with Kathy Kelly. Apparently, Velveteen Dream has some magical powers now because he does this, and his music hits and purple lights.
Yeah, that's great.
Or he's got a device like the clapper that responds to.
Probably more likely.
So he does that.
Yeah.
Responds to that sound, and that triggers the lights and the music.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Or magic.
I can't really figure out the technology or magic.
I can't either.
But he's got something going on. She asked him what's next. He just talked about himself for a long time, and then he said, "Oh, back to your question, what's next? I'm leaving you." And then goes back to normal, and she looks mildly irritated.
After that, with an Undisputed Era promo, they were in Tommaso Ciampa's truck.
Yeah.
Apparently, they lost the set, the playground set they used to do. All
Adam
the promos
Cole's
from.
very worried and made sure that all the angles were locked, so War Machine didn't attack them again.
Well, Hanson's hurt. They said that in the show. They had a broken rib, a ruptured spleen,
yeesh,
and some torn cartilage.
Ouch!
All from War Games.
Ew. It's a bummer, man. They mentioned this during the promo too. They said we injured War Machine.
This was a very Bobby Fish heavy promo because he's got a match against EC3 coming up.
It's too much Bobby Fish. Too much Bobby Fish. He's better when he doesn't say a word.
Oh, I thought he did fine.
Well, he did fine for a Bobby Fish thing.
Yeah, but I think here's the thing:
he's the brick. He's the brick of the group, man.
He's supposed to be the scary, menacing one.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be as funny or as charming as the other guys. It's just a different aspect to it.
He's the brick. He needs to
see. But he was talking. I was like listening to him, but I was looking at Roderick Strong, kind of half mouthing the words that Bobby Fish was saying.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining. It's
he
great.
does that in our intro too.
It's great. It's so funny.
It's like there's cue cards, but there's not, because he didn't know what Adam Cole was saying in our intro, but he was mouthing it.
But I think it's hilarious.
It's amazing. It's so weird.
And Kyle O'Reilly's probably over there doing this.
See, he was doing that, and I was just paying attention to Adam Cole. He had like the gentlest smile on his face.
He seems like such a nice guy.
He just seems happy that Bobby Fish is there and he's talking.
Yeah.
He's the brick, though.
Next, Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler.
Dakota Kai must be getting paid hand over fist, man. She's everywhere these days.
This is a fun match, too.
Yeah, this is cool. They're playing up the old story about how Dakota Kai used to pee herself because Shayna Baszler was
blowing
around
her all over the place. And
Shayna,
now,
of course, has the horsewomen with her.
Yeah. They didn't really get involved, but Shayna picked up the win with her clutch, her choke.
Mm-hmm.
And then the horsewoman came in, beat up Dakota Kai after the bell. Io Shirai runs down, makes the save.
Does some cool, like, somersault things and double lariats.
She's incredible.
I can't wait to see her. Like, I haven't watched any of her like matches pre NXT. I haven't seen anything about her really besides what we've seen on NXT. I'm kind of. I just want to. I want her to get into it, man.
Yeah, me
because
too.
I've heard such amazing things.
Oh, I know. What we've seen so far has been great.
Yeah, I'm looking.
And after that, top notch super best vignette, same one as before, I think.
He was talking about traveling the multiverse. Mm-hmm. You know, after his crushing defeat to Mecha Santa,
feasting his eyes on
the H title,
the different universes that exist across the multiverse.
Why don't they film this in 24 frames, dude?
I don't know.
It's like in 60 or something, or 120 or something like that.
They want to emphasize the video nature of the video,
right? It's the word. Like, and then I get like a Tom Cruise promo saying, "Don't watch the vignette like this. Film it in 24 frames."
Yes. Here's calibrate your TV for your Dijakovic vignette.
Very important.
Yes. And to close the show, we had Tommaso Ciampa come out, gloat about retaining the NXT title at War Games 2.
Yeah.
Aleister Black walks down the ring. This
was such a money segment.
Oh, it was really good.
Yeah.
He walks down the ring. He says, "I want my rematch. It's going to happen at Takeover Phoenix."
Mm-hmm.
Because then his contract, he get to rematch. That's WWE law.
Yeah. It's not.
Except on 205 Live, where Drake Maverick has to give his approval to sanction a rematch.
That's booty.
It is. Gargano comes down and says, "You think we're done, Aleister? We ain't done."
Mm-hmm.
And then Ciampa says, "Oh, War Games, your match was great. I saw it, but you know what? Maybe your match should have taken place with all that steel around you.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have a match in a steel cage."
You guys should fight again. Yeah, steel cage.
Yeah. And then they seem cool with it. Aleister tries to give Gargano a black mass. He evades it.
Yeah.
And then as he walks
inches slowly towards Ciampa, destroys his head.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to gift that, but put an explosion.
So, challenge has been issued, and thus it at least has to be somewhat official. We're going to get Aleister Black versus Tommaso Ciampa.
Correct.
Are we actually going to, is this going to transition to the triple threat match that we're going to get before Aleister Black got hurt?
Okay,
This
man.
could be a triple threat match.
May I ask first, are you speaking for, spoiler-wise, is there an answer here?
No.
Okay. All right. I would think so. It would have to be. I would think it would have to be.
Yeah.
It's really, because I know, like, I didn't know the answer to that, but I do know how that steel cage thing works out.
Yeah.
And it is a pretty shocking thing, so I'm going to just not talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like we would have to this would have to end up being a triple threat thing, and we're going to have two heels against the one face, two heels with a history of being a team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
That could be potentially amazing.
Yes.
That could be really, really good.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, that should be a lot of fun.
That will be a lot of fun.
Anyways, let's answer some questions.
Richard Ely, GIR, going in Raw as Gallus. Enjoying you guys while I drive to work.
Gallus in Raw.
There you go.
I think we're more the lucky dip of professional wrestling.
Yeah, we are.
You reach your hand and think you're going to get a big money prize.
You think
nope.
You're getting something really solid, really great. Josh Little in kayfabe, why does Dakota Kai go down the ring by herself when she knows she's going to be beat down? She's proven her bona fides.
Well, yeah, she needs to.
She's saying she is not going to be bullied. She's not going to be. I can't think of words. Intimidated. By Shayna and the Horsewoman.
Yeah.
She's gonna go up there and stand up for herself.
Yeah. Also, maybe they just book her as kind of being a dullard. You know,
I think my reasoning actually is more interesting in terms of a
She, like,
character
doesn't
perspective.
care.
Josh Little also asked
because here's the thing: when she comes out, she has a big smile on her face.
Yeah.
Well, she came out first, so I guess okay, that makes sense.
Josh also asked Steve, "Are you size XL?" and Larson, "Are you size L?"
Yeah. What are you trying to fat shame me or something, Josh? What are you doing?
I'm like between a medium and a large.
Yeah, I'm an extra large. Let's see here. Jimmy Thomas, NXT UK was the disappointment for number one reason. No Zach Gibson.
Is that his statement or yours?
That's both of ours, really, but that's his statement. Diddly Doodler says, if War Raiders were to break up, who would do best as a single star? If they were in NXT UK, obviously it would be.
I'm gonna say
it would be the big man. Hanson?
Yeah.
Hanson.
I'm just trying to think in terms of promo work who has done better on the mic so far. And I don't know if either of them really distinguished themselves. In that
we
regard.
forgot. Did we mention the Heavy Machinery trailer? The Heavy Machinery promo?
No. Where they're at the gym lifting weights and there was some B-roll stuff. I forgot to make note of that.
And they said they want to go after those tag team titles. And then Kyle O'Reilly mentioned them also in the Undisputed Era promo.
Yeah, fairly dismissively.
Exactly, yeah. Diddly Doodler also, if you had dream snapping powers, what colors and what song would play when you snap your fingers?
Oh. Well, Undisputed Era's theme. I don't know, that Matt Riddle theme, I'm starting to get into that one. Bro.
Oh, I know, me too. For me, it would be, let's get it on. I would go like this and be like red.
I was just sticking with like wrestling themes.
It'd be all just sex themed.
Okay.
It'd be good.
All right. Post-lunch Larson, you're the wrestling Grinch. What do you do to ruin NXT? I think Tim Morris has the right answer. Put Vince in charge.
Ooh, ouch. Yeah, Vince and Kevin Dunn put them in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Although if Cody is to be believed, Vince is very hands-on with NXT.
No, I think he's aware of it.
True.
He's aware. Tim Morris asked, which one is Blake and which one is Cutler? They have their names on their pants.
I still don't know. Let's see here. Jimmy Thomas here in Discord says, those pants were so tight, if Tyler farted, you would see a bubble. Yeah, man, I swear I saw, I didn't want to mention this, but I swear they were so tight, I saw an outline of his. What is it with everybody showing off their junk these days? We had Drake Maverick trying to show everybody his Bell End print.
I don't know, man. Tyler Riot, would 205 Live benefit from a mid-card belt or a tag team belt? Yes, trios titles.
Trios titles.
For
sure, it'd be great. Alex Foster, which one of you would be the heel commentator and who would be the face?
You'd be the heel, I'd be the face.
I think I'd be the heel commentator.
Best friendo Greg Morris, what is Dijakovic's ceiling in NXT? Also, Steve Hunter or Big Macador for the tournament tomorrow. Pay for play.
Interesting.
Wait and find out. What's Dijakovic's ceiling?
Well, H champion, for sure.
No, in NXT.
Oh. Okay, realistically, there's too many people there, man. I don't even know if it's... Well, okay, no, hold on a second. Apparently that dude is putting on killer
I
matches.
think he's a really good wrestler. I think it's all going to depend on his character and his creative.
North American title.
Yeah, and that's got the ceiling.
I feel like that's the ceiling. But if he puts on killer matches, a main event scene with him, Riddle, and Keith Lee.
And Punishment Martinez.
No, he's that dude.
Horton here's a new writer. Would you rather Finn Balor stay on Raw and be booked as he is, or move to 205 Live and be pushed to the moon? Stay on Raw. Because being pushed to the moon.
Oh my God, no. 205, no.
205 Live being pushed to the moon. No. 205 Live.
No. Sorry, Auntie. Does Punishment Martinez seem like a legit version of Baron Corbin? I love Meltzer's take on the Raw ratings this week in the newsletter.
Oh, yeah.
He said this episode was really heavy on Baron Corbin, who seems to repel viewers. Oh, man.
I don't know. Slow Wolfpack Baron Corbin does pretty well for We Book Raw.
This last week.
Oh, yeah.
Was
This
not
last
great.
episode wasn't great.
We might have to get some sort of power struggle there. Because isn't Drew a member of Slow Wolfpack? There you go.
A real draw.
A real draw, because he's a real man. Anyways, is that all the questions we have?
Sure.
All right, sounds good. So patrons at $5 and up, stay tuned. We're gonna have a post show, a bonus episode.
Overrun.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
Overrun. Yeah, we've got our news non-news segment.
Non-news segment. Yeah.
Has to do with Vince and what he did with Raw this past week. I was actually fairly interested in that. Check it out. We'll be going live with that in about 10 minutes. Thanks, everybody else, for watching. We appreciate it. There's some music for you. And, yeah, till next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.